YouTube as well. Let's see. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Working from home today. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Hello, BJ Jumpin. How are you doing? How's your day going so far? Is everybody done Christmas shopping? Well, um, I listen. This whole Christmas, happy holidays to you as well. We just do it for the kids, right? You got young kids, you've got to do the whole thing. Santa coming down the chimney. Well, I don't do some Santa coming down the chimney no more. I ain't get no. Yeah, I have a chimney. I have a fireplace in my home, but Santa ain't coming down no place. Santa is in his home. I'm in my home. Everybody's fine. Hi, Mr. Williams. How are you on Facebook? Come on in. Don't be shy. I said, y'all coming in. Yeah, I use y'all too because I've lived in the South 15 years now. So it grows on you. So y'all on YouTube and Facebook, I can see you. So say hello. Don't be shy. Come on in. Come on in. Say hello. Hi, Instagram family. This is Attorney Abisola Olale, immigration lawyer. Oh, Baba Sam. I have to put that part, right? Immigration lawyer based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Got an immigration case. My firm handles that case staff. We can do represent immigration clients regardless of the state you live in. I can say that in my sleep. I know. Hello, Bukola. Bukola Yomiajayi. I think you have your name, first name, middle name. Hey, listen. Oh, so someone was asking me earlier today. I had a consultation. Like, why do we um names in Nigeria? Why do they have meanings? And I think hello is that Mr. Akombi Ondusaya? Hello, I'm doing good. How are you? Um, why do we have names that have meanings? And I the best explanation I could give was, we believe in your name speaks your destiny, right? So you give a name, and you're speaking into the destiny of the child. You're speaking into your future. And most of our names usually would have something to do with God or wealth. Compound name, Yomi Ajayi. Oh, wow. I've never heard that before. That's nice. Compound last name. That's a first for me. Because I'm used to, Olu something or Ogun something, or, my mother's maiden name is Ogunde. She's from a royal family in Ijebu, so I'm used to that. But anyway, we usually have names for, we believe that names speak your destiny. Although I'm still waiting for my parents, or my dad is late. Waiting for my mom to explain why all my names have Ola in it, but nobody left me no wealth. Just saying, cause here I am working. Just saying. But we usually have names that have either God or something, with prosperity, or Olubukola is the first. Yes. And usually Olubukola means, God has added to my wealth. Am I correct? Ola just basically means wealth. So my full name is Abisola. So a child born into wealth. Like I said, still waiting on the wealth. Middle name is Afolake, child born into wealth, or child cared with wealth. I'm still waiting on the wealth. Okay, yeah, Odubuko got added to my wealth. So if my mother is here, I'm still waiting on the wealth. Well, if you have good health, you got your kids, they're in good health, God has provided, that's the wealth. I'm just saying that when I was born, there's got to be a reason why name was given to me. She's probably going to tell me to go back. Well, anyway, if you need to contact, hello, Mr. Uday, how are you? How you doing? I actually was looking at your something regarding you anyway. So But I'll be in touch with you. How is Christmas going? How is everyone doing at home? Yeah, I'm still waiting to see where the wealth is because my mom's gonna tell me. Because listen, if that's the case, I shouldn't be working, right? Because um, my 11-year-old TJ, my I call him my high maintenance. God gave me two kids. One is low maintenance, very easy baby. He gave me that one first, so that he would, I was like, oh, having kids isn't that bad. I mean, come on, let's bring in another one. And then TJ came along, so yeah, and I was like, okay, that's my birth human control, right? My human birth control right there. Done. But yes, our names have meanings. And it's good because you speak every time you call your child or you call yourself, someone calls you, they're speaking life into you. And that's it will be easy in Jesus' name. Hang in there. Hang in there. You've come this far. Just keep hanging. It will become easy. Just you cannot lose faith. Let me tell you something. I got into a story to tell. My life is a testimony by itself. And so, but the one thing that I know that has kept me is you cannot lose faith. When people doubt you, when people don't believe in you, when people don't want the best, but God has put within you fire, fire to excel, fire to achieve beyond what human comprehension can stand. You've got to find a way to break through. So hang in there, okay? But anyway, if you need to contact our office, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can see that on the screen, 334-341-4475, allaylawfirm.com. I don't have that streaming app yet on Instagram, but 334-341-4475 is the office number. You can text to that number as well. Today I want to talk, and if you haven't subscribed to a YouTube channel, please, you have to share our Facebook page with others. Invite your friends and family to like and share and follow TikTok. Most of my videos on TikTok and Yoruba language. And I love it because my Yoruba is my second language. Being raised in Nigeria, I was one of those kids where my first language was English. Hello, Mr. Michael. My first language was English, and Yoruba was my second language. My older brother's first language was Yoruba, and the other way around. So he speaks better Yoruba than I do. But I love it because as an adult, I really was intentional about getting my words correctly, even though they're still very funny. Some pronunciation is like, she Yoruba Latin, so. But yeah, that's the fun of it. But anyway, come on in, say hello. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. So I am on Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube. Subscribe, share, follow, comment. Yeah, I know, right? So let's talk this evening. I'm gonna bring it up on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and YouTube, and I will let's proofread. Okay, so proofreading works. My Vawa work permit not yet approved. Why? My Vawa work permit is not yet approved. Why is that? Let's talk about that. Hello, BC Touch. My Vawa work permit is not been approved. Why? Let's talk about that. That is, I had 3 consultations on work permit today. I tell you, I talk a lot. So I'm in my home office right now. And my youngest son, his room is just adjacent to my office. So he's always like hearing everything. And he goes, you know how many hours you have been on consultations today? And I say, you know how many hours you've been on your PS4 today? He's my child that I just thank God that he didn't come as a girl. TJ is his mother's child. He's got my mouth. Like, he's a kid that will say anything. The other day I was asking both of them, I said, SJ is my teenager. You hardly see him. He's my quiet, introverted kid. I said, because Chris was saying you're very bossy. And I go, hey, do you guys think I'm bossy? TJ's like, yes, you are. No missing a beat. I said, Esther, you think I'm bossy? He's not key. He can be a politician. Very diplomatic with his responses. He doesn't like to hurt anybody's feelings. He goes, well, it depends on how you look at it. You know, never would tell you yes, you're this or no. TJ, his mama's kid. You ask a question, he'll give you an answer. Say, you ask me about you bossy. Yes, you are. So my VAWA work permit not yet approved. Why? Let's talk about that. So I had 3 conversations, like I was saying, regarding this issue. The very first thing I want you guys to understand is that for those who don't know, VAWA is when you file for a green card, underlying petition for a green card based on being the victim of abuse in a relationship, marriage, being a parent or being a child of the abuser who is a citizen or a green card holder, where you're able to file your own petition yourself without the knowledge of your spouse, without the knowledge of your parent, without the knowledge of your son or daughter. And when you file for VAWA, you are able to file a work permit as well as at the same time when you file your petition. So the question today we're tackling is, my VAWA work permit not yet approved. Why? The very first thing you need to know is this. Did you file the right category of work permit? In all 3 consultations I had today, believe it, and that's why I'm doing that. I've done this topic before, but if I had 3 separate consultations on the same issue, then I thought, you know what, let me just do a video on that. And I can guarantee I'm going to have more consultations on this, but just so if it helps somebody to understand where they stand, that's my goal. So first question you want to ask yourself is this. What category do you qualify for when you file a VAWA petition? And did you file the right category work permit? Did you file an application that is in the right category? When you file a VAWA petition, you are able to request work permit in 2 different categories, a C9 category and a C31 category. A C9 category, I'll come to that later, which is the one that a lot of people think they filed but did not file. C31 category is solely for VAWA self-petitioners. The C31, if you look at the EAD categories, it will show you VAWA self-petitioner work permit category, right? C31. The thing about the C31 category is this. You cannot get a C31 work permit until your VAWA petition has been approved or will be approved. Let me say that again. A C31 category is solely for VAWA self-petitioners. You will not get a C31 category work permit until your VAWA petition has been approved or your VAWA petition is about to be approved. When you file an I-360, which is the VAWA petition form, there is a section on that form that asks you, are you in the United States and would you like a work authorization to be issued? If you check yes on that petition, which you should always check yes, then you do not need to file a 765 application for a work permit, because when the VAWA petition itself has been approved, USCIS will automatically send you a C31 work permit. Automatically. A lot of people, including myself, file a C31 765 form, and I'll tell you why later. So if you check yes, then you would automatically get a work permit, a C31 category work permit, upon approval of your VAWA petition or when it's about to be approved. Now, where the confusion lies with a lot of people is this. Because in every work authorization, you have to select the category that you're filing for. And then you have what people do is, and that's what I found from all 3 of my consultations today. Either someone who's helping you tells you, okay, C31 is for VAWA people, right? Or you go to the 765 instructions and it says C31 VAWA self-petition, and you put C31. The problem is this. unless you're not willing or you're not looking to get a work permit when you file a petition immediately, when I say immediately, during months, then that's fine. If you're looking to get a work permit when you file your VAWA, when your VAWA is still pending, you want to work, a C-31 is not going to do it, because you can only get that when your VAWA petition is approved. That's the problem a lot of people are having. So if you file a 765 and you indicate a C-31 category, you can make all the e-service requests in the world. Ain't going to change nothing, because it only comes when your VAWA petition is approved or about to be approved. 3 of the VAWA approvals we've gotten this year, 3 of those, the very first indication that I got that they were going to be approved was when we got a USCI case status update saying, we ordered your new card. And that's because we checked that on that form. And once you check that and your case is approved or will be approved, they would send you that automatically. You don't even have to file a 765 for that. Here's why I file a C-31 category, work permit category. I do that when, number one, I have a client who is in removal proceedings. Even if I check, and we cannot file an adjustment of status application with USCIs. So even if I check yes, send my client a work authorization, I still file a 765 because it's fee waived. It comes automatically. It's attached to a VAWA petition, so there's no fee requirement for that. I also file a 765 C-31 if my client already has a pending C9 category in situations where they've initially did an adjustment of status, where they filed a marriage-based 485, meaning they had a spouse file an I-130, filed a 485, and then filed a 765 C9. They already have that. They have their work permit. Things happen in the marriage, and now we're converted to a VAWA case. Because they already have a C9, there's no reason to file another C9. I just do C-31 just to add it to the petition, right? We do that because I know they have a C9, and we're able to use if and when we're able to use the 485 that is pending, they would be able to renew the C9 without any issues. Those are the only situations where I file a C-31. If a client wants to work while a VAWA petition is pending, for instance, you are the spouse of a citizen or green card holder, right? You intend to work while your VAWA petition is pending. For you to be able to do that, then you must be an immediate relative, meaning your spouse, your abusive spouse, is a citizen, or you're married to a green card holder and your preference category is current, meaning you don't have to wait for a visa number, and you can file a 485. Right now, based on the December 2021 visa bulletin, the F2A category, spouses of green card holder, is current. That allows you to file a 485 green card application simultaneously with your VAWA petition. Once you're able to file a 485, a C9 work permit category is attached to an I-45 application. It is not a standalone by itself, C9. So you cannot file C9 with just a VAWA petition. No. In order to get a C9 category, you must file a 485 when you file your VAWA petition. And that is the work permit category that you can get while you get them process that and get that while your VAWA petition is pending. It is the same category work permit you will request in a regular marriage-based or employment-based, because it is attached to the 485. I really hope that helps, because a lot of people, I have a client, potential client who is going to retain my services. He's been waiting 2 years for a work permit. He's done an e-service request, which they wouldn't tell you because it's a VAWA case. They'll tell you have to write in. And he found out today that he chose a C-31. And he could have gotten his work permit like way back then. And he wants to travel too. Did not know he could file a 485. Now, I have to say this. There is rhyme and rhythm to people. Yeah, 2 years. Exactly. Because he did not know. And that's okay. Um, and I'm gonna, how do I say it? I don't want to say your real name. But I think we're getting closer to yours. I don't know if Miss Pam is on. Anybody can be Pam. But the working Miss Pam's case was filed in February, and working on work authorization received in February. So I'm just cautiously hopeful for her because we're almost at her date. But he didn't know. And I told him, like, you could be working, you could have traveled. He wanted to travel. You can also file an advance parole if you have a pending 485. So this is not, listen, even attorneys make that error of filing a C-31 and then incur like, oh shoot, I filed. Now, I take CLEs in immigration law, just like I do in criminal cases and family law. And so because of that, I was able to know, and I read a lot. Listen, have you seen my gray hair? I'm the girl that loved going to school. Now, I have the attention span of a 2-year-old. Like, I cannot be, unless it's something that really gets my attention, I cannot do more than 2 hours. I have to take a break. But I loved school. My mom will tell you, I loved going to school. I loved learning. I yearn for knowledge. I'm the kind of person that stays up 2 a.m. reading and researching. Especially something like, someone tells me that, no, you can't do that. Like, no, yes, I can. But that is what's going on. You've got to know the right work permit category you're requesting that you're eligible for. And know that now, once you know what you're eligible for, then I'll get to the questions later. Then you can go on the USCIS .gov/person times, look up what they're working on. So I still check that a few times today, right now, and depending on the service center that is processing your case. Now, I have a case, a marriage case that we filed in September, and we got the work permit yesterday. Was it yesterday that I had that on? But that's a marriage based, and it's a different service center. All VAC cases are processed with the Vermont Service Center. That's the only service center that processes VAC cases. So you go on uscis.gov/processing times, put it in the I-765 Vermont Service Center. Right now, they say they're working on cases received on or before February 2nd, 2021. That's a good jump because, I think a couple of weeks ago, they were still in December 2000. Now, I'm a member of American Immigration Lawyers Association, and I know AILA has been on them filing all kind of stuff and, amicus brief and all, because a lot of our clients are suffering financially. I cannot even imagine. Listen, I've been there. My mother will tell you, not having a work permit. I could not do anything but volunteer at a law firm. And it just drove me nuts. It drove me nuts because I was watching my siblings go to school, get Social Security numbers. I couldn't do nothing. So I get it. So it's frustrating not being able to do anything. But I know Ayla has been on it with this work permit delay. But no, the delay is added, or even the delay becomes more frustrating when you file for a wrong work permit category. You've got to know the right category for you to file. And the best thing for you to do is just get yourself an immigration lawyer and stop the speculation and guesswork. Because now I've got to take over a case that somebody advised them on. And it's like they've just been waiting 2 years for nothing. We didn't go to law school for nothing. You see this gray hair? But that's just it, right? So just know, VAWA petitions, 2 options. You have the C-31, you have the C-9. C-31, you don't even have to file a 765. As long as you check that part on the I-360 that says, would you want the work authorization? That's usually the first indication that your VAWA petition is approved, because you get a notification that says, we ordered your new card. But C31 does not come until your VAWA petition has been approved. If you want to work while your VAWA petition is pending and you're eligible for a 485 application for your green card, then you file a 485, and with that you request a C9 work permit application. And right now, for VAWA cases based on a pending 485, the Vermont Service Center, they are working on applications received on or before February 2nd, 2021. I hope that really helps a lot of people. I don't mind if you pay me my time for consultation, but I do this so that a lot of people can get that information. God knows, I don't know how many videos I've done on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, but that's why when people call my office, like, can I get a free consultation? I already do free consultations twice a week. I got bills to pay too, but, this is what I live for. I love immigration practice. I do criminal defense and family law, but it's a different thing. Like I always say, an OBGYN who is a male can tell you what you expect because he's been taught and he's gone through and he's delivered babies. But an OBGYN who is a woman who's had children not only has the education, but she's got the personal experience to tell you what her story is and what you can expect. That's immigration for me. I've never been charged with a crime, knock on wood. I've gone through a divorce, but, even I knew better to hire a lawyer, even though I practice family law. But immigration, I have personally walked through this journey. So I get it. I get the anxiety. I get the, all the craziness of go back to where you come from. All the craziness, yeah. So if I can help in any way, I can. But so that's it. All righty. Let's take questions. Let's see. And okay. I'll start with Facebook and YouTube. Do you happen to know why the processing time for VAWA keeps getting pushed back to July? Thank you for that question. It is frustrating. And I think it's because they're having less manpower, but a lot of petitions, because at some point it was at September, then it was December, and now we're back in July. It's like, okay, we're supposed to be moving forward. Why are we moving backward? I don't know. I can tell you that I've had cases that were filed in December 2019 that we've got the work permit. And I can tell you that we've had cases filed in June 2019 that we just recently responded to an RFE. VAWA is, really with RFEs, because you have to understand, unlike a regular marriage application where they can schedule you and your spouse for an interview, in a VAWA case, you don't get interviewed. So all they're going on is what you send as evidence, and they can't verify that with your spouse or anyone because it's confidential. So, that raises the bar a little bit, because you have the sole responsibility of proving your case. It's, credible evidence. It's not like beyond reason, but the point is they can't verify your information. So that's why we get quite a number of RFEs with VAWA cases. But why they're going backwards, I don't know. Maybe that's something I can even bring up or with the Immigration Lawyers Association and see, or I can research and see if we have anything that I can come back and give you guys information, but I don't know. Okay, perfect. I'm glad today's topic helps you. So your case, I think we filed your case, was it July? Yeah, so was it July or August? I'm not sure. But I also see what's his middle name? Mr. Vincent. Yeah, I'll go by you. So you know who you are. I see Mr. Vincent. I think yours was filed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was either March or April. So my point is we're getting close. Okay. I'll come to Instagram. Give me 1 second. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, let's see. All righty. I'm good. No, my kids. I think the older my kids get, someone was asking on YouTube. Are you done Christmas shop? The older my kids get, the less stuff they ask for. Well, I take that back. The less material stuff they ask for, because it's more about buying video game box or whatever that crazy thing is that TJ buys. But as far as toys, and because we've gone through the phase of Thomas, yes. So they're working on it February, so we're pretty close. Once we get to your date and we don't hear anything, it's time to write them an email and send them a letter. They probably know my love from her, like that crazy lady. Yeah, it's more about money now. Kids don't get less expensive; they get more expensive as they get older. Their needs just change. I can't even believe it. I have a kid that we're going college. We're visiting colleges starting in January. I thank God. But I remember just like yesterday, I was telling him earlier today, like he was in the middle of my backseat driving around. It was just the two of us because my kids is almost 6 years in between the two of them. So it was just Esther and I for a long time. But now he's heading to college within the next year. But college is expensive, so so yeah. Okay, so let me go back on. I'll come back to Facebook and YouTube, but let me go on Instagram and see the questions. Let's see. Hello. Oh, about my joke about because I said earlier my parents named me Abisola, which means a child born in wealth. My middle name is Afolake, which is a child that was cared for with wealth, and then Adebola, a child who comes to meet wealth. And I'm wondering, what the heck is the wealth? Haven't seen the wealth in 43 years. Just saying. Oh, she's probably here. She's probably going to say, oh, Badun. She was reminded she was to law school. Yeah, that's the wealth. And let me tell you something. My journey, since I'm talking about my mother, we've not always agreed when a lot of things. I think because we're very similar. But I look back at my life, and my dad, I was a daddy's girl through and through. My dad drove me to school. Don't judge. I was just daddy's girl. He would drive me 3 hours from Lagos to Lorry. That's what I was. But my mother, I don't think I'll be sitting here today without my mother. Because I was, like, I'm divorced now, but back then, they had done the traditional engagement, bride price, whatever, but things went south. And my mother and my siblings actually won the DV lottery. Back then, that was 2001, the one 2001, 2002. And I just finished law school, and the relationship was, my mother was like, I'm not leaving you here. You are going to apply for a visitor visa, go to US, just come visit. Let's see how things go. I was so like, no, what am I going to go do? She goes, what are you doing here? And because things were just really bad. And she goes, I don't care. This woman was, those Nigerian mothers where they fast and pray for you. You gotta, God bless parents, especially mothers. Fasting and praying, like Allah and all that. Anyway, fast forward. Got the visa, came with them back in 2002. Life was very miserable because they were doing things. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have work authorization. I didn't have nothing. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going back to Nigeria. At least I have. She goes, no. Anyway, she was the reason why I had to come. My mother was the reason why I got my very first job in Worcester, Massachusetts, and was able to get an H-1B because I was a volunteer, and my employer then was like, you are darn good, girl. I'm going to file an H-1B petition for you. I was like, okay. And as God will have it, it was approved. That's how my immigration journey started. So my mother was very, very instrumental in where I am today. I don't know what life would have been, but, I may make fun and all that, but, that's part of the wealth. That's part of the wealth. Okay. So let's see. Can someone in removal proceeding request or renew EAD? It depends. If you have, if you filed in 485 before the immigration court, where you have an EOR 485, and based on that, you can file a 765. If you have a 42B application for relief that makes you eligible for a work permit, then that's an option. That's very case specific, so it would depend on what it is that you qualify for. No, what is a C9P work category? That is what it is. It's C9 is a work permit that is attached to an I-45 application to just permanent residence to register permanent residency. God bless you too. What's the difference between request for initial evidence and request for evidence? I think I've done a video on this. So long story short, request for initial evidence is them saying you did not submit something that you should have submitted with your application to start with. Example, if you're filing an I-130 for your spouse, one of the things to show, or the way you can show that you have a qualified relationship, is a marriage certificate. So if you file an I-130 without the marriage certificate, they will send you a request for initial evidence because you should have sent that to start with. Now, if you file that and you do not have, that's initial evidence. Request for evidence is them saying, we've reviewed your initial evidence, but we still feel that you need to submit additional evidence. Example, you've submitted that for an I-130, marriage certificate and all that. And they're saying, well, submit evidence of good fit marriage. We don't have anything. We have a qualified relationship, yes. But is it a good fit marriage where it's just not for green card, but this person, at the inception of the marriage, you intended to have life together? Then you get a request for evidence. I hope that answers that. Okay, so let's see. Question. How soon can someone file for divorce after submitting Vawa application? I cannot tell you when you should file for divorce, but there's nothing that says you can't file for divorce even before you file for Vawa. So because you can still file for Vawa up to 2 years from the final order of divorce in your case. So especially if you've been living separately for a while. But I always say this. Keep in mind, once you file for divorce and you're able to do Vawa and all that, but for whatever reason your Vawa petition is denied, you cannot refile a petition once you're divorced and it's more than 2 years. If you're still legally married, those separate but legally married, you can file a new one because you still have that qualifying relationship based on the marriage. Once you're divorced, that's it. Just like once you get married, Vawa is done. That your case that nullifies your Vawa case. Can one file for kids having already filed one's application on Vawa? What do you mean by that? I'm not really sure I understand your question. Did you, as long as you included your kids in your Vawa petition, your question, I'm not really understanding your question, but if you included like every client I have, if they have, whether it's a minor child or not, I include, because it asks you to include all your family members, their dates of birth and all that. So if there's some, for instance, I have a case that should be going out on Monday. My client has 2 kids. And so we're filing a Vawa petition, and then we're filing 45 for each of the 3 of them. So 3. So, but they don't have to file a separate Vawa petition. It's just going to be based on hers, but they will be included in the Vawa petition as the derivative. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but I'm not really clear what you're asking. Okay. New questions on Facebook, and hold on one second. Hello, Mr. West. How's my boy doing? Favorite immigration attorney. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Good evening, Miss Victoria. How you doing? Yes. So this is one video that you need to share with everyone who is filing Vawa, who's about to file Vawa, who has filed Vawa, but wondering where's my work permit? Why haven't I gotten the work permit? Thank you, Mr. Vincent. I really, really do appreciate that. This would be very helpful. So thank you to everybody who jumped on. I think it's time for me to say bye-bye for now. But let me say this. I hope you all have a very, very, very wonderful, wonderful, merry, merry, merry Christmas. I usually come on Thursdays, but I am taking a break. It is mommy and boys time. And with increased time to, yeah, family time. Let me put it that way. We create, we do, I usually do movie nights with my boys, because you have to, it's not easy with kids who have to deal with the one thing about my divorce that I found out is this. So I got divorced finally in 2018, but I had checked out of my marriage in 2011. I'm crazy. I did not tell my ex-husband then when I started my law firm. I'm crazy. Like, listen, I'm the kind of person that I will roll with you and ride with you till the wheels fall off. But when I've given you so many chances, mm, 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 it's time to move on. But anyway, I had dealt with the loss of the marriage way before I filed for divorce. But the one thing not intentionally, but I just did not give consideration to was the effect on my kids. The fact that the relationship doesn't work for you as the spouse does not change that that person is their dad or their mom. And it doesn't change the fact that they will deal with living in two places. So that was the hard thing for me. And plus the fact that I'm Nigerian, we don't get divorced. So if I tell you that I didn't have a choice, yeah. But I have made a very intentional choice to make sure that my boys are very, very mentally stable and they're healthy mentally. And so, whatever it takes to make sure, and we may not be good as husband and wife, but co parenting, I always say, I love my kids more than any resentment I have towards their dad because they've got to be fine. And if we cannot work together, by God, what are we doing? Now, don't even get me started. But they come first. Nothing comes. Everybody gets their custody time. Everybody gets it. I'm the one that you're like, hey, listen, reminder, come to, it's your time. So we try to do on my end, try to do whatever it is to movie night, and so it's an easy transition. And now my oldest is driving. Whenever they're going to the dad's place, he drives himself and his brother, and so it's easy. Everybody's getting older. Everybody's used to it. Everybody's adapting and whatever we do. So time with the kids, very, very important. Like I always say, I'm a mother first, and I practice law in my spare time. And those kids have been my motivation. Going through to going, coming from a foreign land and going like for the postdoc and taking 2 bar exams and being told while studying for the bar exam that you're not going to pass by someone who should have been your biggest supporter. But when I did the Alabama State Bar, my oldest kid was 10. He was 9 at that point, and he would, I would drop him off, pick him from school, and every time he would come sit because the dining table then was my study area. I doubted someone because I'm coming from a place where the legal system completely different. Got my master's degree for a year, but it had nothing to do with what I had to study. So I had to learn 3 years of law school in 2 months and still be a mother and be told that you cannot do it, you're going to fail. And my kid will come and say, I know you can do it, mama. That's getting me emotional. I know you can do it, mama. And I can never forget September 25th, 2014 at 3:01 a.m. was when I got that email saying, congratulations. I called my mother. I remember I called my mother at 3:01 a.m. I think it was 4 a.m. And I'm like, I passed. I was literally shaking. And I started crying because I knew that I just had to be strong for my kids. But I fast forward and I just give God the glory. So now being able to help other people. I have someone that I'm mentoring through law school, and I keep telling her, like, you can do it. I've got kids, like, you can do it. The kids would motivate you. So I say that to say this. Whatever it is that you can find to motivate and inspire you in your life, even in this season of celebration where we remember the birth and we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. If God has given you hope, and it's giving you joy and it's giving you yet another day to get it right, don't let anybody write your story. Like I said in my post, nobody can write your story, especially when God has not made them the author of your life. Trust and just keep your gaze on God and do the work, and you would not be disappointed. You would have setbacks. That's just life. You'll have times you want to give up and say, you know what, I'm done. You'll have times people are going to question. You're going to question and doubt yourself, but get up the next and say, okay, it's a new day. I can do this. God's got me, so I got this. So thanks to everybody who jumped on. I really do appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate um I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everything that you guys do, the love you show, the referrals, everything. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas with your family. I don't know if I'll do a video. Maybe I'll come up once next week. I'm not sure yet. I may or may not. If not, then I'll see you guys in the new year. But if I do, then I'll see you then. But have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And I wish you guys safe journey wherever you're traveling to.